meanwhile, hoping to see growing levels of influence from those who have come through their academy, notably there Bukayo Saka and Ethan Nwaneri, who again gets the nods in midfield. Seems as though, David, his role, Nwaneri, is certainly going to be more central this season.
Yeah, I think they relied on him quite a few times when Odergaard was unavailable, so it makes sense to get him a really good start right in pre-season so that he is ready to fill that gap if necessary, or if the manager wants to make changes and just change personnel.
Here we go then. Wants to go along over the top. And he's going to make it. Fiori had stayed forward. His flick on. And the Sal's penalty spots. Saka goes far. Back in by Zudran. Tonali's able to pull one back, and that's a big chance. And Newcastle take an early lead. Anthony Elanga gets his first in black and white. And those are the counter-attacks that we were talking about. It didn't look as though Newcastle had got a foothold in this game. But from their first foray forward into the Arsenal half, Anthony Elanga able to get the better of David Raya in the Arsenal goal.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really have that velocity
to cheer inside the Singapore National Stadium. Less than 6 minutes into this. Merino's ball, looking for Havertz. Always underneath it, the German.
Yeah,
Zubimendi. Saka on the move to the area, and it's a good ball in too. Gordon was defending deep, and Trossard's follow-up was well blocked, heroically so. Arsenal youngsters, the last time they were out in Singapore actually, is Trippier's able to pull it back to Nali.
Increases the options in that midfield area.
And he's able to nip in and win the ball back just like he did then. Not the best of connections from David Raya, who was under pressure from William Osula. A long way from goal. He'll come for Ben White. One for power over placement. He sent that one
again.
Zubimendi flipping one in. It's away by Lascelles. Trippier's curling delivery is punched away. As far as do. It's back in for Bruno Guimaraes. That was beaten away by David Raya. Ben White had to react quickly too.
Yeah, decent strike. He could only hit it out towards the left after his first touch. And he closed.
Gordon is so incredibly fast. I think Raya probably looked up to see him charging towards him. Look back.
Newcastle keeping it really tight in that midfield, trying to stop those balls from splitting the lines.
Harry clips one over, and Trippier just happy to watch that one over his head and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it seems what they were last season.
Here's Merino with the shots, and that's a brilliant finish. He was the emergency striker last season, Mikel Merino. And he's picked up where he left off with his finishing too. Picked his spots and placed it to perfection. And there is the usual celebration in honour of his father. Arsenal are back on level terms, and it was clinical.
Yeah, trademark celebration, but standard finish from Merino when he gets in these.
Havertz's ball. Oh, and his feet fired into his own nets. Disaster for Alex Murphy. And in the matter of 2 minutes, this game has flipped on its head. Kai Havertz with his second assist in quick succession. And Arsenal lead by 2-1.
Well, Arsenal turned the tables pretty quick, but if you go back to little incident over the right-hand side, 3 or 4 players getting involved in a little melee on the floor. Trippier comes in as a
take in the air. He's toying with Murphy at the moment, who was able to get that foot back in. Nails up too. Once again, they surge forward. That's lovely footwork by Trossard. Short for Saka, now Lewis Skelly, and this is nicely worked by Arsenal, sending the big boys forward from the back. Hung up as well in a really nice area. Calafiori wasn't too far away from getting there. Pope had to make his number one for another campaign. Here's Gordon. Off balance as he struck it, went for power. Here's Saka.
You have to be now.
Studs down. Tonali's crossfield diagonal. Trossard did enough to take it away from Trippier. No slack passing though from the Geordies. Support from Lewis Skelly. His delivery's a first-time ball, and Pope's easily for 6 minutes to find the back of the net. What have they got just before the stroke of half-time? Lofted up, and that's
On the way back. So whilst there hasn't been a lot of productivity down the wings for Arsenal, ball time, just like to see a bit more of that.
There is Saka. Would have wanted to address a few things at half-time as Havertz is flagged offside.
Like to see
Odergaard able to carry on. Too many Newcastle shirts up there with him. So Barnes is going to go alone until eventually. What a take that was by Saka. Into his left foot. And it's the Arsenal captain, Martin Odergaard. Own goal. Trying to keep up with Kai Havertz, who found some space, but the offside flag had gone up. The Belgian in for Bukayo Saka, who forces a low stop from Nick Pope. And for a second, it looked spectacular. Well, up in comes the delivery. Havertz, one of the targets. He does get there, the German. Just couldn't direct it on target.
Yeah, came right.
18 years old, finds Murphy, who's managed to squeeze one in at the near post. It went through a sea of players. And Newcastle are back on level terms. He had an incredible season. Jacob Murphy last time out. He's picked up where he left off and found the bottom corner. Now we're back to where we started. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 2.
They're almost identical to the start of the first half. Arsenal dominating the play, Newcastle not really doing much, out of nowhere.
And a second as Trossard comes forward and Dowman just beaten to it by the backtracking that target.
Done well there, Tar.
Odegaard's clipped in dangerously and just over the head of Merino. It's a dangerous delivery.
Behind them.
Murphy finds space. Good ball too. It wasn't too far wide. Sula it was arriving.
There's no doubt in his confidence.
Martinelli is having come on for.
We all used to do the same.
In front with Memento. Arsenal had enough back to deal with it. Stauman who emerges with possession, although the Gunners do have a player down inside the penalty area. Odegaard beaten away by Nick Pope. Delivering into the 6-yard box. Not as far as Odegaard.
After spending so much time out.
Dowman in full flow. And forcing a low save from Nick Pope. Well, he's not afraid of turning on the afterburners and going alone, is he? Max Dowman, 21 goals in 37 appearances. That's been hit on the volley. Pepper took a bit of a risk, and Lewis Miley's going to go for goal, but right underneath that one. Odegaard. Pushed away. It's actually Dowman, sorry, with the shots. The two of them move so similarly on. get a chance to go for goal, but on his right foot, that one sails. Away from one, into the area, and surely does get the penalty.
Yeah, he's had Joe Linton on toast from the start of the game. He first got fouled by him, and he took him to task there. Great pace again, direct. He knew where.
National captain to put the Gunners ahead. Once again, gets the better of John Ruddy, who went the right way, the goalkeeper, but there was so much pace on it. A precise finish into the side netting, and Odergaard is keen for Max Dowman to get his applause and soak it all up from those Arsenal fans inside the Singapore National Stadium. Arsenal 3, Newcastle 2.
Yeah, good solid pen, good pace on it. I mean, yes, John Ruddy went the right way. I just think it was like an old oak falling down, wasn't it? You could hear the creaking, just couldn't get down quick.